Hi everyone! Today we're tackling Trader Joe's Kunefe, yet another frozen favorite that unfortunately got discontinued. It's made out of this crispy pastry called Kataifi, which is also the key ingredient for the viral Dubai chocolate. So this is a 2-for-1 recipe video, starting with making our own Kataifi, because the standard internet advice of just buy them from a Middle Eastern grocery nearby had frustrated me for a long time. This video is for those who aren't lucky enough to have every kind of specialty store nearby. After finally getting my hands on some real deal, first I wanted to clarify a common misconception. For some reason, Kataifi is often marketed as shredded phyllo, despite being made completely differently and with different ingredient proportions. Kataifi is a piped batter with much higher hydration, while phyllo is made from stretching a low hydration dough super thin. You can tell from the nutritional facts that the top ingredient in Kataifi is water, then followed by flour and cornstarch, while the top ingredient for phyllo is flour. The calorie per gram is also much lower in Kataifi than phyllo. So they're really not interchangeable if you're looking for similar texture. Luckily, Kataifi is very simple to make. Just take 1 cup flour, half cup cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon salt, add a cup of water, and a tablespoon of oil. Mix until you have what looks like a pancake batter, and pour into a piping bag. This batter will be piped from a very small opening for thin noodles, so make sure there's no large lumps that can clog the piping. And if the batter is a little too thick to pipe easily, feel free to thin it out with a little more water. Now grease a nonstick pan thoroughly and preheat on medium heat. If you don't have a great oil sprayer, just wipe with a paper towel for an even coating without too much grease. Pipe a thin swirl of batter and cook until everything solidifies and peels away from the pan a little. This should happen fairly quickly, so keep a close eye. When each small batch is done, get all of them out, re-grease the pan, and repeat until you go through the whole piping bag. This can take some getting used to, but you'll get a hang of it real quickly. For comparison, this is the store-bought Kataifi, and this is the homemade batch. I was actually pretty happy that the homemade batch got pretty close to the real thing on first try. Without serious practice, the homemade is not quite as consistently thin as the store-bought, but actually tasted very much alike, especially once you use them in recipes. Now to assemble the kunefe, you're gonna want some cheese filling. Trader Joe's version used a mix of mozzarella and mezzetra, which is a Greek sheep's milk cheese that is similar to the Italian ricotta. Feel free to use ricotta salata as a substitute, or just skip that altogether. You're also going to want some pistachios for topping, and some simple syrup, which is just equal parts sugar and water. Use boiling water to dissolve the sugar faster. Before toasting, toss the noodles with a generous amount of melted butter. This is kind of like a cheesy baklava with less nuts but more savoriness. Traditionally, these are cooked over the stoves. All the ingredients are basically cooked already. You just need to fry until noodles are crispy and cheeses are melted. But I personally found the flipping tricky and at times messy. For easy, foolproof meal prep, just assemble them in a small pizza pan and freeze until needed. Throw them in the air fryer when you're ready to enjoy them, and they'll cook literally just like the frozen version from Trader Joe's. 1 pound of Kataifi makes about 4 of these single serves. When cooked from frozen, mine took about 12 minutes in the air fryer on top rack. But this is really like toasting pre-cooked bread. Use your own judgment and preference. Again, every ingredient in this is pre-cooked already. To serve, top with some crushed pistachio and simple syrup, and enjoy the messy goodness. I know it looks simple and rustic, but if you've never had this, you'll be surprised and delighted by the taste. The simple combination really works. Now for the Dubai chocolate. You'll want to bulk toast the noodles on a sheet pan. If the noodles are long and tangled up, give them a few cuts before tossing with butter for easier handling and even coating. I toasted mine at 350 Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes on one side, then flipped and toasted for another 10 minutes. You can also do this over the stove as long as you toast until they're lightly brown and crunchy. You can check the texture just by listening to the sound of the spatula cutting the noodles. Or grab a handful, taste, and adjust as needed. Once the noodles are perfect, add the pistachio paste and the tahini paste. And you have your fillings. I melt my chocolate in the microwave and chill them in the freezer. If you have the patience, tempering will make it hold up better at room temperature. But I personally don't mind munching on chocolate straight from the fridge. To assemble the chocolate, you'll need this deep dish mold and optional gold dust to replicate the expensive look. Line the bottom of the mold with a layer of chocolate and chill to harden. Start this step before toasting the Kataifi, and the chocolate should be hardened by the time your seasoned Kataifi is ready. Just stuff the mold and cover with another thick layer of melted chocolate. Chill until the whole thing is hardened and unmold in front of friends. Everyone will be happy to take a piece, and you can collectively judge if the fad is worth all the hype. My personal verdict is it is genuinely a delicious treat and genuinely not worth the price tag. It tastes like a chocolate crunch bar for grown-ups. I can finish a whole block and want another one, but can't say I love it that much more than a Snickers, Butterfinger, or Twix bar. I don't think a store-bought Dubai chocolate is worth the price tag, but these are inexpensive to make at home and worthwhile to try at least once. Plus, it would make an excellent addition for a Halloween party. If you find the time to try it out, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the nibbles.